All right, this is going to apply to the high school and summer league level athletes. You may be taught how to breathe, but you may not have been taught when to breathe. This is going to help you out. All right, guys, here's an area that a lot of summer league and high school coaches, that's who this really is applying to, they really don't touch on this. These are for the summer league and high school level athletes. They really don't touch on, they'll tell you how to breathe, but they really don't tell you when to breathe within a race. And there is a method to the madness as far as being truly successful. Now, there are different approaches, there are different variations that people will use. This is the one that I like, is that we'll take dude right here. Okay, dude is about to swim. All right, now the way I've set this board up, this is the first leg, this is the first 25, this is the second 25 within a 50. All right, and this is for a 100, this is the 25, 50, 75, 100. So that's the way we'll approach it, and I'll try to mark down exactly where I like for my athletes to breathe within these distances, or within these different kinds of races. We're going to deal mainly just with freestyle right now, but you can adjust and see what works best with you as far as the other strokes and the other distances. All right, so here's dude. Dude is about to dive in. All right, now a lot of people on the first leg of a 25, they may not breathe at all during the first 25. I'm not going to say don't breathe during the first 25, but you probably really don't want to breathe in the first half of the 25. Okay, you don't want to come up from the start and take an immediate breath. Okay, if you are going to breathe, you would breathe in this section of the first 25 right here. Okay, this section would be okay to breathe. Now, you do not want to breathe across the board. You don't want to breathe at the walls. Okay, so these areas are bad. These are bad areas to breathe, and this is a standard. If you want something to, that you can lock in your mind as a bad area for you to breathe, put the area basically at the end of the lane lines, which should be about 5 yards. Depending on what pool, sometimes you'll find differences, but usually it should be about 5 yards. That's at the end. Say the middle section of the lane lines is like blue and white, and then at the end it's got all orange or all yellow or something at the very end. Those sections you want to kind of block off in your mind as no breathe zones. Okay, so just across the board, that's the way they are. Now, on the 50, you dive in. If you have to take a breath, take breaths in this area. Now, when you're coming back, you can breathe in this area again. It's a little bit longer as far as the green area that you can breathe on the way back if you need to. Now, this area is very critical within the 50, is that you don't want to take a breath, because breathing will slow you down, especially in a race as short as the 50, because it's really just like a controlled muscle spasm. That's all you're doing is that, and you can't give up, you can't make mistakes, and you can't give up time to breathing in the 50. So this last section, as you are heading home right here, you do not want to take a breath in this last 10 yards of the pool. You want to keep that head down and finish strong into the wall. All right, the 100, dude is doing double time right now. He's got done with the 50, hopped out. He has got the 100 right here, 100 freestyle that he's about to swim. So, dives in, same thing applies. You really, in this area right through here, you don't want to take a breath. This is kind of a dead zone. You really don't need a breath because you just started the race. You've got all your speed and momentum, so you don't really need a breath. And if you're going to take a breath in this section right here, but make sure you don't on the way in and the way out of the wall. Now, it gets a little bit easier in this section because, again, you don't want to breathe at the walls. But you've got more of a range within the race that it's acceptable really to take a breath. You've got the first 25, you've got the 50, you've got this big breathing zone. On the 75, you've got a big breathing zone that's here in the middle, making sure you're not breathing off of the walls. But on the last 25, it gets a little bit tighter because this is where you separate yourself from the kids who are exhausted and they're going to take a breath, they're going to slow themselves down. If you can have a shorter breathing zone, use this area as a no breathe zone. You can take a breath if you need to here at the very beginning after you exit this zone. If you need to take a breath in here. But If you can lengthen out that no breathe zone to a little bit longer than normal and keep that head down and finish strong into the wall, you'll really see a big difference as far as separating yourself at the end of the race. All right, guys, good luck with your breathing. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.